Photo poor, so photogenic. All I know is to go get it. Shoot my shot, now I ain't gon' miss it. All I know is to go get it. All my life I've been a go-getter. All I know is to go get it. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Photo poor, so photogenic. All my life I've been a go-getter. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move.
Oh shit. I didn't pause the shit. Yeah, like, so basically, you know what I'm saying, my team, that's my shit or whatever, but it's different because it's football, so I do a lot of head-to-heads and shit. At the same time, you know, my man's, he streamed this shit a lot, so I'm gonna see if I can get him on a 1v1 soon. But you know, he what you call play NFL team. Oh yeah, got some quick bad. Yeah, so we gonna go with we're gonna go with Miami. That's what I was gonna do earlier. Alrighty, let's get into it. Always gotta defend the run, cause niggas be fucking me up with that shit. I'm not too into with this shit, so I gotta, bear with a nigga.
Sports has come to the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
First down 10 at their own 20-yard line.
On play action, Cousins. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Cousins now. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
Yes, sir. Use your sack, nigga. I was about to say use your pick.
And it's going to lead him to 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line. Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession.
What the fuck, bro? Oh, my God. That was the weakest play of all time.
Getting inside the quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football?
Bro, why I thought to him I had Waddle wide open.
Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you get a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
It's Cousins on the sneak. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. 4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. Joseph's got it, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game, and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go now.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
Here we go, set.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. That is caught by Thielen. Touchdown! Cousins able to connect with Adam Thielen. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. 1 play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make. And it back.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Okay, they went for the fake.
Don't do too much there, boy.
Point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them?
I was going to ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hole, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the 1st down before taking the hit.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert to about the 35, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Let's go.
Tua on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Play action now. Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hawkinson. 33 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there. They'll go for 2. Cousins will try and throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Tua going to throw. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Tua firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, giving him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
On play action, here's Tua. And that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
This one into the hands of Thielen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Off the play fake, Cousins. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
So many times I advocate not challenging coverage downfield. But on this play, I thought he made an excellent decision to actually do so. If that had been complete, that would have been one for the highlight reel.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. It's a loss of 11 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They go play action. Cousins. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Mostert. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up in a 3rd and 9 situation. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, wasn't it? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To Jefferson on the slant. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Play fake. Cousins rolling to his right. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. From 13 yards out, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Tua. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
But they didn't ease into that drive. Right out of the turnover, they go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to green-light that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. To throw is Cousins. Adam Thielen, back-to-back catches. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Here's Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Credit Zadarius Smith, able to get through and make that tackle for a loss. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Following the interception, Cousins. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
And now here's another interception. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to have a short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
They'll get it inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. It almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. And my goodness, another interception. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. The quick slant caught. That'll bring out 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Throwing here, Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a costly INT in the end zone, no less, puts the brakes on their potential scoring drive.
So many teams stick with the passing game down near the goal line because they see it as an extension of what they do between the 20s. But as we said many, many times, the further you drive, the more the field shrinks. And that was a nice job of making a play on the football and coming away with the interception.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Daniil Hunter, his second sack of the night.
The one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Let's go now.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback because everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And boy, again, they won't get this off in time. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Already Blaze, that was my first game. That shit was trash, man. I gotta get in tune with this shit, but we gonna get to it. Don't worry about it. Yep.